Better? Superior? Better than the others? Better than bulking or cutting? No, there is no way there's another option. No one would have ever said that in any video. No one knew about this. Coach Greg, and in today's video, we're going to talk about bulking versus cutting for beginners. Popular YouTube channel Picturefit, over 1 million followers, posted a video 4 years ago. It said, cutting versus bulking, which one first for beginners? In the video, they said you should cut first if you are a beginner. However, times have changed, new research has come out, and they've changed your opinion. And so in the newest video, it's called cutting versus bulking first. We had it all wrong. Sometimes people make mistakes. They learn new material and change their mind. And so Picturefit made a new video. I'm gonna go over it. And so, is it in fact wrong? Was cutting first wrong? And in fact, the answer is to bulk? Well, in today's video, we're going to find out.
Both are dietary strategies based on calorie intake. We all burn a specific amount of calories each day, known as our total daily energy expenditure, or TDEE.
And so since this video is for beginners, it's important to explain the difference between cutting and bulking. If you're cutting, you're in a calorie deficit. That means you're eating less calories than you need to maintain your weight. You're in a deficit, you're going to lose weight, get leaner. If you're bulking, you're eating in a calorie surplus, and that causes your weight to go up. If you're eating at maintenance, well, you're maintaining what you got. And just to be perfectly clear, that's after considering everything. The calories you burn at rest, during exercise, fidgeting your arms around, making videos, digesting food, everything. At the end of the day, are you eating more or less calories than maintenance?
We can somewhat estimate our TDEE using TDEE calculators.
And unfortunately, those TDEE calculators are guesses. They are guesses on the amount of calories you need to maintain your weight. They're only a guess and they're not going to be accurate. So even if you do try to calculate the exact amount of calories you need to cut versus bulk, it's not going to be accurate for most people.
One of the big fitness misconceptions is that in order to build muscle, you need to gain weight, thus you need to bulk. And in order to burn fats, you need to lose weight, and thus you must cut.
And so it's in fact a myth. You don't have to go up in weight or to eat in a surplus to gain muscle. A lot of people think that you can't build muscle and lose fat at the same time. Research, however, is quite clear on this. You can use the energy stores from body fat to build your muscle. It takes 3 things, well 4 really, to build muscle. You need protein, you need water, and you need the energy to build the muscle, and you need a stimulus for muscle growth, like lifting the weights. And so the energy can come from the food that you're eating, that donut, that hamburger, rice, whatever, or it can come from the body fat in your body. And so if you have a lot of body fat, you can use that lots of body fat to build muscle. If you have hardly any body fat, gonna be a lot harder to use body fat energy stores to build muscle.
It is also a misconception that bulking and cutting are the only options.
There's a third option? No, there's a third method. What? Mind blown. You don't have to bulk or cut. You can do something else. Does it happen to start with the letter M? The M word? We can't say that word. It's not moist. Allie's not here. Can't say the M word when Allie's here. But there's a new M word. I think it starts with mate. I don't dare say the rest. Oh my goodness. Heaven forbid there's a third option.
There's actually a third and more superior option for beginners.
And superior option? Better? Superior? Better than the others? Better than bulking or cutting? No, there is no way there's another option. No one would have ever said that in any video. No one knew about this. And I'm being excessively sarcastic here. Right, Dr. Berg?
And I'm being sarcastic.
I am personally not a fan of bulking and cutting for most people, unless they need it. If you're overweight, probably should cut slowly. If you're excessively lean, you should probably be bulking up. But if you're like most people, normal, say, you can actually maintain. And what are different forms of maintenance? Well, he outlines them. Recomp, gaining, gaintaining, cycling, bike riding, maybe going up and down. Not sure exactly what he means by cycling, but let's continue to watch the video.
Maintenance, where you're simply consuming calories equivalent to your TDEE. And you probably guessed it, that means eating to maintain your current weight.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
If you have a name for it. It's just keeping your weight where it's at, just eating and being healthy and building muscle. You can actually just be normal and build muscle, go to the friggin' gym.
I always recommend to include a decent amount of protein. Generally, that would be about 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day starting out.
And so he's saying eat at maintenance and you can build your muscle, and he does recommend you eat a lot of protein. 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight. Well, let me get my calculator. For those of you who don't like kilograms, we'll convert it to per pound. 1 hour later. So that works out to about 0.7 grams of protein per pound of body weight. That's pretty freaking good. Most people are going to say optimal is somewhere between 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. If you're having 0.72, that's freaking close enough.
Now in my order video, I ultimately said, given the choice, cutting first is the better option. And the first reason I gave is that it has a visual benefit.
But if you eat at maintenance, that visual change will also occur. You can keep your weight the same and decrease your body fat while building muscle at the same time, allowing you to maintain. Oh, I said the word, don't say it.
Assuming that your resistance training, which is also a requirement, much like protein, then doing so on maintenance versus cutting leads to greater muscle growth thanks to the additional nutrients provided to your body.
And so he's saying rather than cutting, if you maintain your weight, you could actually build more muscle because you're eating more and you have more nutrients. When you go in a calorie deficit, it is harder to build muscle. You can still build muscle, but it's harder. That's why people like to bulk. It's easier to build muscle when you're bulking. However, the problem with bulking is you eventually need to cut, and at that point, it's harder to build muscle. He's saying in the video, when you're cutting, you have less nutrients, less energy to build that muscle. So if you bulk and cut, it's easier when bulking, harder when cutting. But when you maintain your weight, it's pretty good all the time. I 100% agree with this, and of course you're allowed to disagree.
Eating, you're preventing any fat gain, and more likely, as research has shown in beginners, you will burn some fat.
And since you're not overeating, you're not getting fatter, and most people on this earth, they just happen to be already overweight. You're going on a bulk because you're skinny fat, but you're already fat. If you're fat, whether you're skinny or not, you're fat. Fat is fat. And just because you're fat doesn't make you a horrible person, doesn't make you lesser. If you're fat or obese, it just means you're fat or obese. If you want to be leaner, you can keep your weight where it is and build muscle in the process. There's no need to bulk or cut just because you're a newbie trying to get newbie gains. You're gonna get the gains whether you're on maintenance or bulking, and the advantage is if you don't bulk, you don't have to cut later.
Much of the early development in training involves improving your technique and building neural adaptations.
And this is in fact true. A lot of the newbie gains, in fact, most of the strength gains are not coming from more muscle, but from learning how to do the exercises correctly. The neural adaptations. The brain, the mind, it learns to recruit more motor units. You get significantly stronger. Oftentimes, you can double your strength within the first 2 years of training. It's not from getting muscles twice as big, but twice as strong. You might not look that much bigger, but you're twice as strong as when you started. I've coached a number of newbies, powerlifters, and so on. I was a school teacher, coached powerlifting teams. A number of the athletes were able to double their strength compared to they were on the first day within 1 or 2 years of training.
Any nutrition plan is pretty much useless if you can't stick to it in the first place. And cutting or bulking as a beginner isn't exactly easy when you have so many other things on your plate to figure out already.
And that's another good point. It's hard enough to just join the gym and figure out training. You have to figure out training, and if you're cutting and bulking, it adds up, it overwhelms you, and if you can't stick to your nutrition plan, you might just give up. If you go to the gym and just think, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing one new thing, just one, I'm making one change in my life, I'm going to the gym, I'm not changing my entire diet routine, I'm not going to cut, eat chicken, broccoli, and rice, I'm not bulking, I'm not force feeding, I'm not doing anything fancy, I'm just eating, and I'm going to train, and if I do that, I'm going to build some muscle and burn some fat. And if you add more calories in bulk, yeah, sure, the scale's going to go up and you're going to look bigger, but you don't have any less body fat. If you're cutting, that's great, but you're losing a lot of body weight. And if you can't stick to that diet and give up, what good is the diet if you end up regaining all the weight in the first place? So rather than that, an easier option than anything is just to go to the gym and train and eat normal. You can worry about all the changes later. Just keep your weight about the same. Look in the mirror and realize over the months and years, you're going to look better even if you keep the same body weight. You'll have more muscle, less fat, and look better. Now, if you want to cut, that's great. Of course you can, but you don't have to. Just adding training to your regimen is going to make you healthier, and this is all about being healthier. If all you start doing is going for walks and eating nothing different, that is amazing. You've made a major step on improving your life. It's not about being perfect. It's about being better than you are right now. If all you do is join the gym, all you do is go for a walk, all you do is something better than right now, you're improving yourself. What more can you ask for?
And more importantly, the thing about bulks and cuts is that they're just temporary diets. You can't do them for a long time.
And so the problem with bulks and cuts, they're diets. Temporary. You can't bulk forever. You can't cut forever. You bulk forever, you're going to die of morbid obesity. You'll be 1,000 pounds. If you cut forever, you're anorexic. If you're already at a healthy body fat, why would you change anything? Why would you eat more if you already have a good amount of body fat? Why would you eat less if you already have a good amount of body fat? There's no point. Are you really going to build more muscle by bulking up and cutting rather than maintaining a healthy body fat? The answer is, in the long run, no, you are not. Of course you can, and they're both going to build muscle, but one is not better than the other.
Then maintenance is something you can and probably should do the rest of your life. It's a lifestyle.
A lifestyle, a way of doing things for the rest of your life? You'd think me and Picturefit collab together to do this, but I've never met the guy, have no idea who it is.
Get enough whole foods, get enough protein, train regularly, and eat just enough. Doesn't that sound great?
Hopefully you liked the video. If you want to use maintenance as part of your program, then use maintenance. If you want to bulk and cut because you personally believe that that's the way to go and that motivates you, all the best to you. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette, IPE Pro. Please check out the bloops. The bloops are over there. Watch one of the bloops. Also, harder than last time supplements, including the turkesterone. Everyone's going crazy over that one. Please get that if you're interested. Also, the cookbooks, the Circle Diet book, the training books, all kinds of books. Click the link in the description. Comment for the algorithm. Subscribe and click the bell button and get notified. Watch more of the videos. And until next time, I am out.